camera options, and they're the most technologically advanced consumer drones ever made. And they're optimized in every way to help you create stunning aerial photos and videos. When we reimagined our flagship drone, we started with the camera and the gimbal because we noticed two things. First, like the image behind me, the majority of aerial content is shot at dawn and dusk when lighting is most dramatic. This meant that the camera needed to be able to capture dynamic, often dimly lit scenes with more precision. And second, we noticed that the vast majority of aerial content today focuses on broad, establishing shots like landscapes. To go beyond landscapes, you need a camera that's capable of emphasizing a specific subject. To address the first challenge, we created a more powerful camera. One with a sensor that gives superior performance across a variety of lighting conditions. Creating something this small that could fly on the airframe the size of Mavic 2 was an incredible design challenge. And to overcome it, we formed a very close partnership with one of the world's most respected camera manufacturers. We call this new drone Mavic 2 Pro. Mavic 2 Pro is the world's first drone with an integrated Hasselblad camera. And we're excited to have senior executives from Hasselblad here with us today. So thank you, John Deal and Diane DiVincenzo, for joining us for this historic moment in aerial imaging technology. You won't find another drone of this size that shoots higher quality images. It has a 1-inch CMOS sensor that delivers detailed 20 megapixel photos with an adjustable aperture right from the track wheel on the remote from f2.8 to 11. It gives you the flexibility to capture great images in bright or dim lighting conditions so that you can shoot all day, especially at sunrise and sunset. It captures ultra high definition 4K video and produces outstanding image quality with higher color depth, dynamic range, and resolution than any Mavic before it. And because it's a Hasselblad, you have access to their advanced color science. That means that you have access to the Hasselblad natural color solution for improved color and tonality in your photos. For cinematographers, Mavic 2 Pro gives you an exceptional degree of latitude in post-production. It captures 10-bit D-Log M video with 4 times as many levels of color per channel when compared to the 8-bit video found on Mavic Pro, giving you more flexibility in post without degrading the image. It also captures HDR video and supports the hybrid log gamma HDR standard, letting you play video straight from the drone onto a compatible HLG monitor with higher dynamic range and better color performance without spending time on post-production grading. To solve the second challenge of moving beyond these establishing shots, we created a camera that allowed you to get close to the action. Because you need to be able to fly low, to fly close, and at the same time, not disturb the subject. This is a challenge for any drone. And like a professional photographer who pulls out a long focus lens when they can't get close enough to the subject, now, so does your drone. We call this new drone Mavic 2 Zoom. It's the world's first foldable consumer drone with optical zoom. With an equivalent 24 to 48 millimeter optical zoom, plus 2 times digital zoom, it gives you an effective 96 millimeter telephoto lens for 4K lossless zoom at full HD video resolution. And its 1/2.3 sensor captures 4K video and 12 megapixel photos. The result is that we have an entirely new tool for storytelling, one that allows you to create things, capture a subject from a safe distance. With zoom, you can not only emphasize the subject, but also compose a classic image, one with a clear subject in front of a vast background like this one, with compression. This means the difference between a flat-looking aerial shot you've seen 1,000 times and being able to create using the cinematic language of Hollywood productions. Now for photographers, Mavic 2 Zoom lets you capture stunning landscapes, like this photo with a new feature we call super resolution. Super resolution automatically captures a gigantic 48 megapixel image of what you see in your 24 millimeter field of view. Using optical zoom, it shoots and stitches 9 photos together for an incredibly detailed image. All of the image processing and computational photography is done right on board the drone, so you don't have to spend time editing and stitching your photos at home. Across the Mavic 2 series, we've boosted their abilities to capture video as well. Each has a maximum bitrate of 100 megabits per second and can shoot using the new H.265 codec, meaning videos shot on Mavic 2 give you more flexibility and latitude in your post-production workflows. And your photos are going to stand out too with Mavic 2's new enhanced dynamic range capabilities. Using eHDR, the drone takes a series of photos at different exposure levels, generating an image with high dynamic range that removes blown-out highlights and flash shadows. It delivers an incredible 13 stops of dynamic range for Mavic 2 Zoom and 14 stops for Mavic 2 Pro. And here, the results are absolutely stunning. This new feature is going to give you more ways to use Mavic 2 to capture professional quality images across a broad spectrum of lighting conditions. We couldn't be more proud of these two new cameras because with Mavic 2 Zoom, we think having optical zoom at your fingertips is going to be a game changer, opening up new genres of aerial content. And Mavic 2 Pro's Hasselblad camera gives you the imaging power to create with more detail across a wider variety of lighting conditions than ever before. Back in 2012, when flying a camera was a new technique, the unique perspective a drone provided worked like a magic wand. Aerial images would automatically get a wow from anyone who saw them. 6 years later, with millions of camera drones out there and hours of aerial content created every day, it's much more difficult to impress. Content creators told us they want more magic. They want freedom, just like the Freedom Phantom offered, to move a camera anywhere in three-dimensional space. So we asked ourselves, what could we do? What more could we offer? And we decided on the fourth dimension of time with a new feature called hyperlapse. Hyperlapse is a technique that for a long time only professionals could master. It requires movement of the camera with expensive equipment such as tracks and pods. And frequently, you're creating a shot that moves just a few feet. But with the help of a new algorithm and a more powerful onboard processor, Mavic 2 can capture aerial hyperlapses with a track length of not feet, but kilometers. And it processes the images into video literally on the fly. This feature is based on Mavic 2's ability to self-locate, estimate attitude, and precisely track subjects. It's a big technological achievement and a huge creative achievement as well. Because now, producing a professional quality aerial hyperlapse is as easy as just one tap. We've created 4 hyperlapse modes.